대학교에서 국제관계학 학사 학위를 따고 프린스턴 대학교에서는 국제정책학 석사, 오스틴 텍사스 대학교에서는 공공정책학 박사 학위를 받았습니다. 오늘은 한국의 부정선거와 그 대처 방안이라는 제목으로 발표를 해주시겠습니다. 타라오 박사님께 마이크를 넘기겠습니다.
그냥 처음으로 제 말 들리세요?
네, 들립니다.
네, 이렇게 동영상을 만나게 돼서 반가워요. 제가 여러분들 앞에서 이렇게 말씀을 드리는 것에 대해서 아주 영광으로 생각하고요. 또 저를 초대해 주신 KCPEC에 아주 감사를 드립니다. 요즘 아주 힘드시죠? 우선 내가 어떻게 시작하고 싶냐면 힘내세요 하고 싶어요. 그리고 제가 영어로 해야지 좀 더 정확하게 말을 하니까 이제부터는 영어로 할게요. As some of you know, I've written about the election fraud in South Korea. Let me just state why this is such an important topic. And I'm going to start out with the very identity of the Republic of Korea. The Republic of Korea is a liberal democracy, and it is also a republic. In a liberal democracy and a republic, the citizens have sovereignty, and the citizens temporarily lend their sovereignty to their elected representatives. And they do this through the election process, through the voting process. So what this means is that the election process has to be transparent and has to be trustworthy in order for the outcome to reflect people's will. If the voters have doubts about the process and if they don't trust the outcome, then the steps need to be taken to restore that trust. Because if the outcome does not reflect the voters' will, then it's not a representative government. In South Korea's general election on April 15, 2020, the official outcome was 180 seats for 더불어민주 Party, or also known as the Democratic Party of Korea, and its satellite party. This is shocking. Gordon mentioned this earlier, 180 out of 300, that's 60%. Which means that they can pretty much pass almost any laws except the Constitution, any laws at once without the opposition input. So that is very dangerous. So let's look at why people are saying that fraudulent elections occurred. Let me begin with Professor Walter Mabein's study, and I'm sure you've all heard of it. He has this statistical analysis of the election data using his e-forensics model. And this model has been used for, well, he has used it for a lot of different elections around the world. And what his model showed in the case of South Korea is that over 1.4 million votes were fraudulent. That's quite a bit. Of those, slightly over 1 million votes were manufactured, and about 360,000 votes were stolen from other candidates. So that's all pretty significant. This model also revealed that in certain districts, the fraudulent winning party was the Democratic Party, but in other districts, the fraudulent winning party was the United Future Party. So this issue is not about left or right, but it's an issue for all citizens of South Korea. This fits right into the discovery that there were more votes casted than the number of registered voters in Korea. And this alone should be enough evidence to basically throw out the elections and require a new election right away. But of course, that didn't happen. There was a recount in one district out of all the districts in South Korea, and that's only because there was some of the citizens that were monitoring at the polling booth, they were very, very vigilant, and they questioned the outcome. It just wasn't right. So they basically reset the machine. They restarted the machine, the vote counting machine, and they proceeded to recount. And the second time around, the results were dramatically different. So this is how it goes. Initially, the Democratic Party had 180 seats, and the United Future Party had 80 votes. So huge difference. But then after the reset, it was actually reversed. It was United Future Party that had more votes, 170, and the Democratic Party had 159. So that actually reversed the situation. But even the totals were different. Initially, the total was 260, but later on, the second time around, it was 329. So, I mean, what does this mean? How could this happen? Well, let me draw your attention to this other video that has been out there showing a vote counting machine system at polling stations. And you may have seen this, but they're taking this machine out, and on the back of it, there are 4 USB ports. And there was a USB mouse, or there was a mouse plugged into the USB.